Hello, everybody, and welcome to the sinking city. Seizures, yada yada yada. In which, wow, okay, we're still wrong, but have been included for an authentic depiction of the time. Okay, very well. I apologize for the fan. It's 91 degrees. Audio, video, gameplay. Aim assist. Uh, let's keep it on for now. Difficulty. I'd like to consider myself capable of doing this sort of thing. So, yeah. Welcome, dear Mr. Charles Reed. Frosty, welcome. Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outburst of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Massachusetts. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours. A city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, we believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment, and the person who might be able to help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Ines van die Berg. Man-eating eels don't care if you're a strong swimmer. Avoid staying in the water for too long. The casebook and Mind Palace contain the information you need to figure out your next investigative steps. The recent cataclysmic flood left the city's poorer neighborhoods a sodden ruin. The ensuing chaos made large-scale repairs impossible. Press up to pin evidence from current cases on the screen. Hold up and use R1 to switch the clues. Solving a case doesn't guarantee you a huge reward, so stay well supplied by scavenging around the city. Now, I have never played this before. I got this on release, but I've been waiting. Because I'm just that sort of guy. My face! Okay. Survivor's guilt, I'd say. Now, I have no idea how this play. Oh. Oh no. We're stuck on Riley. Or not. What are you doing? Okay, the fact that he fell onto the bed, kind of disturbing. Okay. Full camera. Letter from Dr. Yada Yada Yada. Read that one. Pew, 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 pew. What, am I not taking it with me? Bang, bang. No, seriously, pick it up.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
I put in a code that should have unlocked some stuff, but it didn't seem to work, so whatever. I'll worry about that on my own time. Hi there.
Take your belongings off my ship first.
What belongings? I took most of my belongings. You won't let me take the gun. Okay, there's an icon on this thing, but it won't let me do anything with it. Okay, no need to do that. Why am I not taking the gun?
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Take your belongings off my ship first.
Where? What? What do I need to take? I have my belongings. Except for this gun, which he won't pick up. Maybe I need to look at something on it.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Of course. It's not evidence. How's it going?
Now get out.
Okay.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed.
Nice glasses.
What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg.
Wow, I
Didn't
look
expect
awful.
you to mean so literally.
Please,
Or rather, he
call
looks
me
awful.
Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour.
Oh, you're
Though
not a
it
good
is
person, are
its
you?
most important.
Nice suit.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary
Uh-huh.
place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But
The flood.
You may, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
What? The
Tell me
flood?
about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged
What do you know
for
about the
several
Reapers?
weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience.
Apologize for the cat, but that's just what he does.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont.
Robert
By chance, the man I
Dorg
spoke of,
Morton?
Robert Throgmorton, is already...
Yeah, by chance, I'm
He has
sure.
dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
I'm not gonna say
How
nice
can I
suit.
find Mr. Throgmorton?
I see no point in that.
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Though I note he's not getting wet. I mean, I can understand that he's standing under something, but he isn't wet despite having having to walk to this point first.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature.
Creature?
Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. Great ambitions. and
Robust
even great
bloodline, yeah.
Do not make him wait.
That's it. That's Lovecraft talk right
I
there.
need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you.
Aw, how nice
There's
of
a
you.
room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Sounds
Don't
worrying
let the book
because I
out.
saw it in my dream.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Like me a map.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth.
I cannot hear a
This
thing
city
they're
is
saying.
insular, its ways mysterious.
In no
No
small
one will
part
take
of
you
that
by the
fan
hand, so
going behind
you
me.
better know where to turn in search of a lead.
What
How
you
do
do
fill
here?
your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Some would disagree.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No, no. The pleasure was mine.
You are definitely evil.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds beauty.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that'll damage my sanity. Could be wrong about that, but from what I've read, using your quote-unquote powers can be hazardous to your sanity. Institutions, landmarks, fast travel points. That's good. Investigation scenes. Retrocognition allows you to understand events that happened in the past. Expect enough evidence on the scene and a vision will emerge. Step into it and find all the critical scenes. So kind of like in Call of Cthulhu. Follow the omens. Combine pairs of evidence to get pairs of relevant clues to get evidence. Crucial information for the case. It's added to the case book. Deductions. These explain nuances of the case. They are displayed in the Mind Palace. Some deductions can be interpreted differently. This can lead to conclusions. Discover all possible conclusions to fully understand the case, but it's up to you how to solve it. Okay, I like how that sounds. Call of Cthulhu lacked that, sort of thing, really. It was more based on how you put your, where you put your points, and I don't want to have to rearrange my points per gameplay in order to get the full story, you know? You often need to look for useful information within various city archives. Archives contain topical information. For example, City Hall holds general data about citizen organizations. Well, info about Specific categories of people, like criminals or patients, can be found in police or hospital records. In the casebook, evidence may have a hint icon indicating you need to do some archive research. I don't think it will because I turned that off, but in the archive interface, select the piece of evidence you wish to investigate, then choose 3 criteria to search for relevant information. A search conducted with correct evidence and criteria will result in new information being added to the casebook. Padlocks and weak planks can be broken with a shot or melee attack. What the hell is that? If you are crouched, hostiles are less likely to detect you. Enemies may harm your sanity as well as your health. Some enemies have unique abilities that may come as an unpleasant surprise, but most have weak points too. Ammo and supplies are scarce. Scavenging, crafting, and quest rewards are the only source of supplies. Guns are not going to reload themselves. Oh my. Harpoon stuns hostile creatures for a short time. Flares light your way and can distract hostile creatures. If damaged, hold R1 to slowly recover your diving suit's pressure. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. In the main case, you can work on more than one side case at a time. Cases contain information about investigations in the form of evidence. Some pieces of evidence have icons that hint at what actions to perform. Evidence contains crucial information to what to do next. I think I read that already, but don't want to go into the water or we will die. Good God. Welcome to Oakmont, a town on the rise. Yeah, sure. Fish. Okay, this is just creepy. Who'd want to live in a place that looks like the bottom of the ocean? There's coral here. Under the keel bar. So, whoa. There's the boat. Oakmont City Port. Devil's Reef Hotel. Trophy plate with a strange fish. Looks very lifelike. Ugh. And it said that I need to find a person in Oakmont Port by the name of Robert Thorgmorton. Supposedly he can help me with my visions. I'm just seeing what I can do and what I can't. Ouch. No trespassing. Police take notice. This looks like a job for me.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
Lol, Shakespeare joke. I think. It's referring to the fairy king and queen.
Something with this
Something with
helmet
this helmet gives me the
gives me
chills. What's
chills.
wrong with it? Oh,
What's
sorry.
wrong
He's
with
saying
it?
it. Oh, God. Don't look at it. My brain meat. What have you done to my brain meat? Albert Thornton's will. I hope someone's find this. My name is Albert Thornton. This is my will. I want to warn you. Don't go to the depths below Oakmont. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor, I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. In the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father. He's here. Ding, 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 ding.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves
Oh,
Oakmont
dear.
nowadays.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Innsmouthers. Ugh. Ugh. Outsider! Stop! I'm gonna have to deal with them, aren't I? Again. I never beat that Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, but I got far enough into it to have encountered those damn things. Those Innsmouth peoples. I dealt with the Attack of the Fishmen. I think I left off at the part where let me see, the part where, yeah, that's probably the guy I'm looking for.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can
Very
help each
apish
other.
features you have there, sir. I'm not gonna bring up his features. They look familiar, but I can't place them.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. And even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him.
Well, he's got a chin, so he's not a Whaley.
Others, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan.
Though
of
he
these
may
Innsmouthers.
be related to
Those
Yogg-Sothoth.
fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells.
He's
They
definitely
are
not human.
Everywhere.
Or not
they're
entirely
just
human.
Refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Alright, let's talk about the
I think you're
visions.
the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria.
Yeah, look at my face. I'm clearly having problems.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dream.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic because I can't hear you. I'm not going to bring up his
Mr.
features.
Throgmorton.
That's
I can help
rude.
you.
I
I'm
don't
not
like
good
to
at
be
tracking
rude.
down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to
First
new
off, it's my
arrivals.
job, but
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in.
oh no, don't start calling me outsider.
Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Tane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the
Where was he
expedition,
going?
Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Well, I already got the,
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were You're standing right in front of it.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
define stupid. Okay, just rub against it, that causes me to open doors. I can't see the front of me. So, am I holding a flashlight? Or is it like attached to my belt or something? I don't really see a reason to have a flashlight on at the moment. It's not dark in here. So how do I activate this mind's eye thing? Yep, it's damaging my sanity. The sanity seems to recover on its own. Well, he's probably just gutting them here. That's fine. As you do. I noticed that we're not showing him the letter. That seems weird.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
There's blood on it. You okay there, buddy?
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, man.
police? I already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye.
Well, hired is
Mr.
a
Throckmorton
very
hired
loose
me to
term.
find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Yeah, your
I
name
wanna
means
know
nothing
what
to me.
happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry
Mr.
left again
Robert?
to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. And he started to make these horrible sounds and... Okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned
Sounds like
beast,
he's
sleeping giant, a voice
contagious.
that called me...
That sounds familiar.
Okay, just
Tell
gonna
me
ask
what
you
you
who
said.
you are.
Name's Will. Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together.
Poor fella.
Me,
Why?
poor fella
Paul-
Paul,
poor fella.
Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing.
And I imagine so.
It was that or starve.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light.
I
our
didn't
love.
know that.
Sorry. I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. May he have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or did I kill him?
Well, I haven't looked at him yet.
And the police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling. Now let's see here.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
What the hell?
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
I don't know what I just saw, but I didn't like it.
Choo choo. Choo choo.
Right, okay. Choo choo, amen.
Choo choo.
Yay, metal scrap. Alright.
I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
See if I can reproduce that, whatever that was. No.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Five cards short of a full house. 5 cards short of a full house.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything, so there's no reason to leave it on.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Fish scales? For the handle, I mean. Nani?
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nugulayna.
Okay, right there. How do I activate it?
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Yeah, that's an Innsmouther, alright. Okay.
Take this, ape face.
What's happening?
How do I mark it? You're not letting me mark it.
Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Obviously it started in here. It's pretty straightforward, this one.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Oh god. Gee, no, stop that. Stop. Stop the crazy right now.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
How do I do the mind's eye thing? Not mind's eye, mind palace.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella.
I should probably end the
He was
video
beaten
pretty
to a
soon,
pulp.
but This is a Mind Palace. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons. That could be a reason to hate them. Albert Throgmorton spread some sort of psychic influence and made everyone around him suffer hysteria. I can track down Albert. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Okie dokie. Albert Thornton was dangerous. Albert Thornton was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Okay. Follow the omens, eh? Why does he have handprints all over him?
My head. I still hear those voices.
Well, I'm gonna call it a video here. I am the Blues 32. This is the Sinking City. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.